I had no sales experience prior to this at all. That was something that I learned purely from this industry. That's how I learned how to sell anything. I never did nothing as far as sales before. As a child, honestly, growing up, I was a bit of like I wouldn't want to call it like a class clown kind of, but I was always trying to make people laugh, always trying to, bring humor into things, so that was really me as a child. I liked to play around and, I was always playing video games growing up, those type of things. I had a older brother growing up, and yeah, he was always a big influence on me. I would feel like my competitive nature came from playing sports. I guess in a way, my older brother did introduce me to sports, so I guess it led to me being competitive, but it more so came from just wanting to be better at people at things like basketball. That's really how it started, being better at running than people, things like that. And I had no sales experience prior to this at all. Before this, I was doing lease returns, so that's kind of like the people that would check your mileage after you turn in your lease. They would inspect your car for scratches and tell you how much it would cost. That had nothing to do with sales. I can inspect a car, but I didn't know if I could sell, pretty much, right? So that was something that I learned purely from this industry. Honestly, that's how I learned how to sell anything. I never did nothing as far as sales before. I was excited just to get a job in general. To me, whether it was sales or anything at all, I was just excited to get put to work because I was always the type that I liked to work. Honestly, in lease return, I was always the one checking out the most cars, even though I didn't get paid more to do the most. I was just doing it anyway. So sales was exciting for me because I was able to just get paid more for doing more. And I was already doing more, so I was like, shoot, all right, perfect, I'll get paid more. I mean, if I'm gonna be completely blatantly honest, my positive outlook comes from the fact that I honestly believe I'm blessed, honestly, by Christ. I feel like there's nothing that I can't do and nothing that I won't do to succeed. And so anytime I'm ever faced with a challenge, I feel like, okay, I know I'm blessed, so honestly, I don't really have to worry. I don't think stress is for me. I think faith is a huge part. No matter what it is, you gotta believe in something. So I always try to connect with people at any level. Any struggles in your career, it's good to have that faith, like, hey, right now it doesn't look good, but I know that future me is looking at this and he's laughing at it. So that's one way. I mean, just faith in general, whether it's spiritually or just here physically, in the things that you can't see yet, being able to look beyond that is a big thing. In the next 5 years, I see myself growing my business to the point where it's giving me income passively, and I'm able to go on and do other things that I'm also passionate about while also having a revenue stream that will provide for me. I'm big into my faith. So honestly, my real passion is going back to my home church and being able to just serve over there, to be honest. But honestly, obviously, serving, you need something that's going to provide for you financially as you do that. So that's something that I want this business to be a vehicle for. What sets anybody apart in sales or in business is that I never quit. During times when it wasn't looking good, I just kept going. And so at the end of the day, it's a battle of attrition. Whoever lasts the longest wins. So I believe that when all the dust settles, I'll still be standing no matter what. I mean, that's what separates me from anybody else, because a lot of people can be good at sales, but when things get hard, what happens? A lot of people, they just kind of quit. One piece of advice I have for aspiring entrepreneurs is to separate your accounts, if you will, especially if you're someone that has never had to run a business before. Have that savings account separate from your checking account. Have something that you can't touch and something that you can touch, and just make that your rule. I take nothing out of this account and I only use this account. Recommend that for anybody watching this who's an aspiring entrepreneur. Yeah, separate your accounts, for sure.